Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, good morning. Have you ever watched a stand-up comedy like this?
Bakri itu lebih senang jalan-jalan ke museum. Terakhir kali Bakri jalan-jalan ke museum, banyak anak SD lagi study tour. Mereka langsung nyamperin Bakri, ngeluarin buku, Bakri dicatat. Terus gurunya bilang, anak-anak ini bukan koleksi museum. Terus gurunya bilang ke Bakri, maafin murid-murid ibu ya dek. Adek namanya siapa? Bakri Adi bu. Shh, nama Latin.
Guess why people laugh at certain parts of a comedy film or stand-up comedy based on Grecian maxims? Let's discuss together. Let's go. Okay, before we start the discussion, let me introduce myself. My name is Hikmatul Aziza, name A321230018. English Language Education Study Program University Muhammadiyah Bogoraya. Laughter is not merely an emotional reaction, it is also a cognitive response to certain patterns of language. In linguistics, experts believe the humor, especially in comedy films and stand-up performance, works through highly structured conversational mechanism. One of the most influential theories comes from H. Paul Grist through his concept of the cooperative principle in his 1975 work Logic and Conversation. Grist explained that people naturally follow unwritten rules in conversation, so communication can run smoothly and be easily understood. So, these rules include giving enough information, telling the truth, staying relevant to the topic, and speaking clearly. In normal conversation, listeners expect these rules to be followed. However, humor often appears when these conversational rules are intentionally violated. For example, a comedian may give an irrelevant answer, exaggerate information, or say something ambiguous. This violation creates surprise because this audience expectations are suddenly disrupted. When the audience realizes the gap between what they expected and what was actually said, the situation becomes funny and triggers laughter. Therefore, humor works not only because of the joke itself, but also because language is creatively manipulated through the violation of conversational rules. Okay, next, what are Grecian maxims? So, according to H. Paul Grist, the cooperative principle in conversation is divided into four main maxims, known as the Grecian maxims. The first is the maxim of quantity, which means a speaker should provide enough information, not too little, not too much. So the second is the maxim of quality, where people are expected to say only what they believe is true and avoid making false claims without evidence. And next, the third is the maxim of relevance, meaning every contribution in a conversation should stay connected to the topic being discussed. A conversation should stay connected to the topic being discussed. Finally, the maxim of manner emphasized that message should be delivered clearly, briefly, orderly, and without ambiguity. So, in everyday communication, these maxims help conversation run smoothly. However, in comedy and stand-up performance, comedians often break these rules intentionally to create humor. This intentional breaking of conversational rules is called plotting. Unlike piloting, where someone secretly breaks a maxim to deceive others, plotting is done openly and obviously. The audience realize that the speaker is intentionally saying something strange, exaggerated, or irrelevant. Because of this, the audience began searching for a hidden meaning behind the statement. This hidden meaning is what Greece calls an implicator, the process of discovering that that unexpected meaning creates surprise, and that surprise often leads to laughter. In Archibald Greece theory, there are two important ways people can break conversational maxims: piloting and plotting. Piloting, the first is piloting, means breaking a maxim secretly. In this case, the speaker hides the violation because the goal is usually to deceive or mislead the listener. The listener does not realize that the conversational rule has been broken. Meanwhile, plotting means breaking a maxim openly and intentionally. The speaker makes the violation obvious, so the audience immediately understands that there is a hidden meaning behind the statement. And this hidden meaning is called an implicator. The audience tries to interpret the speaker's real intention, and this process often creates surprise and amusement. This is the key concept in humor theory. Humor frequently comes from plotting maxims intentionally. Comedians deliberately break conversational expectations to create hidden meanings, unexpected interpretation, and ultimately laughter. Okay. Basic mechanism. Why are violation funny? The basic mechanism of humor can be explained through several linguistic and psychological theories. One of the most influential explanation comes from Victor Ruskin in his script-based semantic theory of humor published in 1985. Ruskin explained that humor appears when two different scripts or frameworks of understanding suddenly clash. At first, the audience follows one logical interpretation of a conversation or situation. However, the comedian later introduces an unexpected alternative interpretation. This sudden shift surprises the audience and creates the humorous effect. In many In many cases, the violation of reason maxim becomes the main mechanism that causes this prescriptive shift. In addition, John Morrell in Talking Laughter seriously argues the laughter is a response to incongruity, a mismatch between expectation and reality. People naturally expect conversation to follow normal conversational rules. When something unexpected, absurd, or irrelevant suddenly happens, the audience experiences surprise. The bigger the gap between expectation and reality, the stronger the humor, reaction, and laughter become. Furthermore, Salvatore Attardo in Linguistic Theories of Humor emphasized that maxim violation is not simply a comedic trick or random gimmick. Instead, it is a formal linguistic structure that underlies most forms of verbal humor, especially in jokes, sitcoms, and stand-up comedy. Together, these theories show that humor is deeply connected to language expectation and interpretation. Comedy becomes funny because audience recognize that conversational rules are being intentionally manipulated in unexpected ways. The violation of the maxim of quantity happens when a speaker gives either too much information or too little information than what is needed in a conversation. In over informative humor, comedians add excessive and unnecessary details. This makes the situation sound absurd and unexpected, which creates comedy. Meanwhile, in underinformative humor, the speaker gives extremely short or incomplete answer. As a result, the audience must guess or fill in the missing meaning themselves, and this often becomes funny. In stand-up comedy, the violation of the maxim of quantity is often used to create unexpected humor. For example, Raditya Dika frequently uses long and detailed storytelling. He adds many unnecessary details before finally delivering a simple and unexpected punchline. The excessive information makes the story more absurd and entertaining. On the other hand, Louis C.K. often creates humor through very short and cynical responses. His answers are intentionally too brief, forcing the audience to interpret the hidden meaning themselves. This type of humor can also be seen in movies such as Anchorman and Deadpool, where characters either over-explain situation or give surprisingly minimal responses for comedy effect. The main effect of this maxim violation is that the audience laughs because the amount of information given is unexpected and different from normal conversation. Okay, the violation of the maxim of quality happens when a speaker says something that is clearly untrue or unrealistic. In comedy, this violation is commonly used through techniques such as irony, sarcasm, and hyperbole or exaggeration. Comedians intentionally say things that the audience knows cannot be true. This becomes funny because the audience immediately realizes that the statement is unrealistic. The obvious contrast between reality and what is being said creates surprise and humor. In stand-up comedy, the violation of the maxim of quality is often used through irony, sarcasm, and exaggeration. For example, Panji Pragiwaksono frequently used political sarcasm and social criticism through irony. He says things that sound absurd or exaggerated to criticize real social issue in a humorous way. Meanwhile, Raditya Dika often exaggerates personal experiences and everyday situations until they become unrealistic and ridiculous, which creates comedy. This type of humor can also be found in shows and films such as The Office, Superbad, and The Simpsons, where characters frequently use sarcasm, irony, and exaggerated statements for comedy effect. Irony is considered one of the strongest humor techniques because the audience understands the hidden meaning behind statements that are clearly not meant to be taken literally. The violation of the maxim of relevance happens when a speaker gives a response that is unrelated to the topic being discussed. In comedy, this often appears in forms such as non sequitur statements, sudden topic change, or overly literal responses that do not match the situation. This becomes funny because the audience naturally expects a relevant and logical answer. However, when the response suddenly shifts in an expected direction, it creates surprise and confusion, which can trigger laughter. In stand-up comedy, the violation of the maxim of relevance is often used by giving responses that suddenly shift away from the expected topic. For example, Abdur Arshad frequently changes the discussion unexpectedly into personal experiences, creating surprise for the audience. Meanwhile, Ari Kriting often creates humor through literal misunderstandings where he intentionally interprets statements too literally instead of responding contextually. This type of humor also appears in movies such as Airplane, and Dumb and Dumber, where characters repeatedly give irrelevant or absurd responses that break normal conversational expectation. According to John Morrell, humor often comes from unexpected incongruity, the gap between what the audience expects and what actually happens. This unexpected mismatch is what makes the situation funny. Okay, next. The violation of the maxim of manner happens when communication becomes unclear, ambiguous, or disorganized. In comedy, this violation commonly appears through ambiguity, misstorytelling, or understatement. Comedians may intentionally speak in a confusing or indirect way so the audience has to think harder to understand the real meaning. This becomes funny because the audience must actively interpret the message themselves. The confusion, misunderstanding, or delayed realization often creates surprise and laughter. In stand-up comedy, the violation of the maxim of manner is often used by making communication intentionally unclear or disorganized. For example, Bintang Emon frequently delivers jokes very quickly and ambiguously, forcing the audience to process the meaning carefully. And meanwhile, Raditya Dika often used a jumping story structure where the narrative suddenly moves from one idea to another in an predictable way. So, this type of humor can also be found in Monty Python and the Holy Grail. One famous example is the line, "This is only a scratch," said by a character after losing several body parts. The understatement is clearly absurd and unrealistic, which makes the scene funny. The humor works because the audience must actively interpret the real meaning behind the unclear, exaggerated, or oddly delivered communication. Okay, the last is conclusion. Humor is not random. It is linguistically structured in comedy and stand-up performance. People often laugh when comedians intentionally plot Christian maxims, the conversational rules introduced by H. Paul Gurris. When these maxims are violated, the audience experiences surprise because the conversation does not follow normal expectation. This creates incongruity, which is the mismatch between what people expect and what actually happens. At the same time, the audience realize there is usually hidden meaning behind the unusual statement. This hidden meaning is called an implicator. Therefore, the main idea is that laughter is a cognitive response to unexpected language patterns. People laugh because their mind recognizes and interprets surprising violation in communication. Okay guys, thank you for your attention and thank you for watching my video. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.